Hello everybody, welcome to the Tropestormers3D YouTube channel, brought to you by the Tropestormers podcast. This podcast that is an assassin of tropes in TV and film. Now we're moving on to video games, and we're starting with the immortal Bioshock. Bioshock recently became available on the PlayStation Store on PlayStation Plus, and I thought it was ample time to come and look at Bioshock in terms of the story tropes. It's a very highly story-driven game with a lot of themes and plot behind it, but it's also a very competent game in terms of the gameplay, the way it plays, and it's pretty damn scary. So I like a scary game, even though they scare the shit out of me. But here we go. Without further ado, we're going to start Bioshock. The Tropestormers are embarking on video games. Right, so new game. If you don't know much about the podcast prior to this, we have a podcast in the link below. And if you want to like or comment or subscribe to this channel, feel free. You can leave that to the end, of course, seeing if you like it. But check out the podcast as well. The podcast looks at TV and film, and also looks at tropes and how well story tropes have been put into different media. So for instance, best way to think about it is if we think about the sticking with video games, we'll go on medium. I've played other shooters before, but sticking with video games, if you think about the Super Mario games and the damsel in distress trope with Princess Peach, she's always getting captured, and our plucky fat plumber always has to rescue her. So it's that damsel in distress, handsome Italian prince plumber. Oh, here we are.
They told me, son, you're special. You were born to do great things. You know what? They were right.
Can't beat a first-person cigarette. So we're starting here with Bioshock with the mysterious plane crash trope, unexplained. So, loot used in a lot in things like Lost, and Lord of the Flies, of course, has a plane crash, which, if we think about literature, is literally used as a metaphor. And Bioshock as a game, here we are, we're upside down, don't know what way we are, part of a plane crash. And Bioshock is a metaphor for a lot of things. It talks about a lot of themes: God, religion, humanism, the role of man and consciousness, and what it means to be an individual. So here we go. Let's try and survive this plane crash as an individual. It's a pretty good looking game. We've got some good water effects here. Let's swim. So yeah, we've got the usual first person mechanics here. We cannot see our own feet, but we do get to see the occasional 1960s sweater every so often. This does not look good, so let's get out of this. That is our plane. We appear to be the only survivor, but look at this Art Deco lighthouse that we've got going on here. So Bioshock itself is a horror game of sorts. I'm just going to see if I've got the subtitles on here. That'll make things easier. Dialogue subtitles on. Let's put those on. Okay, great. Right, let's resume. Any excuse not to go in there early. So we've got this very ominous Art Deco New York style door. There's our poor plane. This, I assume, is an ocean. So let's go in. Okay, open door with the dark, not knowing what's going on. Classic horror tropes, and then we're met by this powerful image: no gods or kings, only man. So my understanding of what goes on in this is that we've got this reference here to Andrew Ryan in What Country Is There a Place for People Like Me, and then we've got no gods or kings, only man. So I think the premise is that there's a society led by this guy Andrew Ryan, who has no time for the idea of supreme beings or gods, or the idea that there's anything a man can't achieve. So quite a conservative idea of people doing things off their own back and the hard work and their own endeavour. Because as we see, we go down deeper into this. Got this ripped down quote here. So a parasite asks. So yeah, he's not a fan of people asking for charity. Interesting political concepts early on, and you know, that's hard to introduce in a video game in any particular fun way, I guess. But this is pretty good. This looks pretty atmospheric so far. We've got this place is lighting itself up. Art, industry, and science. Okay, so that's what this place is about. Now we've got here, I think this is called a bathysphere because it's spherical, and you take a dip in it. So here we go, the bathysphere lever. So here's our first real proper game mechanic. I think we find a little bit more about where we're headed now. It's a nice Art Deco, giant Oscar style thing. Fishies! Oh, look at this, it's so Fallout. Fire at your fingertips.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow?
Mm-hmm.
No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture.
Okay, this is a beautiful shot.
A city where the artist would not
Very
be
cinematic.
obsessed, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
Oh, somebody else. And a whale. So the idea is we've got this kind of Art Deco, futuristic contrast, utopian city where everybody is free to do what they want. Now there's a bit of a problem with that, isn't there, being at the bottom of the sea and citing freedom. All good things of this earth flow into the city. So interesting ideas. There's quite, within the first 10 minutes, there's quite a lot in terms of humanist and objectivist ideas coming forward. So what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to own your own ideas and your own lifestyle and your own political choices? Big criticism of America and communism as well as religion there. So this game does not mess about in terms of tackling the themes. But where does that leave our character? So there's a lot of darkness. Oh, what's happening here? Are they curtain hooks? Oh, I do not think they're curtain hooks. So the golden hooks there. This is our teaser, our first antagonist. Looks like a woman. She ugly. UGLY. Why are you doing this to me? Hey, whoa. See, it's not all just humanist debate. It's actually putting the fear of God into you as well.
Would you kindly pick up that shortwave radio?
Okay. Wow, that was a big jump. Ah! I've got to get the radio.
Grab that
Service
shortwave
radio.
now. That splicer's out there still.
Okay.
I don't know
Ah!
how
Oh.
you survived that plane crash, but I've never been one to question Providence.
Ah, so here's another one of our tropes.
And I aim to keep you
I'm going to get these subtitles right. Why? I asked you to do that before. Did I? Art subtitles on. Okay. Resume.
Now keep on moving. We're gonna have to get you to higher ground. Take a deep breath and step out of the bathysphere. I won't leave you twisting in the wind.
So this is Atlas. He is our guy in the chair.
We're gonna need to draw her out of hiding, but you're gonna have to trust me.
If you watch the recent Spider-Man film, you'll have known that they kind of hung a lantern, shone a lantern on that trope of everybody having a guy in a chair. So Batman has Oracle in the clock tower. James Bond has his Q to an extent, and we've got Atlas, who appears to be helping me at this point. I just came speaking on the radio, so bit of a coincidence that he was helping us, but you know, any port in a storm, you take where you can. This is really quite a beautiful game. Looking at this 50s, 40s, 50s kind of evocative architecture. This Vita chamber. Now, what is this? Good question. If you're killed by the hostile denizens of Rapture, you'll be revived live and whole at the last Vita chamber you passed. So, bit of video game technology there. Quite handy. If we die, we cannot die. Only to be revived by Rapture's Vita chamber. So welcome to Rapture. That's one thing. You can't actually die here. But not what this sign is saying. Rapture is dead. Okay. We're not your property. Alright. Let it end. Let us ascend. I think people want to come to the top. What does this say? Ryan doesn't own us. Yeah, so already we've got these like conflicts between... Uh-oh. What? I did not like that. Okay, we've got these conflicts between the people who live down here and the idea of Ryan, who ruled the place. So there's a certain irony to the freedom that people had stuck down here to pursue their own choices, their own lives. As you can see, this is nice and dark. I'm going to turn the brightness a little bit up because we want to be able to see things, and I'm a bit scared, ladies and gentlemen, I won't lie to you. Okay. That's better, a little bit better. Still atmospheric. Atlas book. Okay.
Just a bit border. How do you like that, mister?
Whoa. That must have been who was talking trash to me
Would you
earlier.
kindly find a crowbar or something? Bloody splicer. Seal Johnny in before they... Goddamn splicers.
Alright, so first weapon being a melee weapon. That is classic video game tropes right there. And I guess I'm going to get attacked pretty soon by somebody as I attempt to leave. We'll see. We'll go back over here. It's telling me to swing my wrench at somebody. I mean, despite all the discussion, it still boils down to a pretty atmospheric horror game at the end of the day. Oh, I've got to swing through this. There we go. That's what it wanted me to do. Uh-oh! Oh! Couch of Doom. Not a common trope. Let's just jump that. Right. Oh my god! Cheap shot. He's down. Yeah, so people called splicers, who... I think the story is that at the bottom of the sea they found, yeah, this thing called Adam and Eve, or they found a thing called Adam and it became this serum. So everybody's doped up on this serum that's given them powers and also driven them mad. So look at this beautiful Art Deco scene that we've got here. I need to get through here by the looks of it. So we'll come back to that. Plasmids. Alright, let's check those out. These are the powers that you get. So we're in this society where it's gone wrong. A dystopia. Your classic dystopia. And we need to find a way out. Find out what's gone wrong. Find out what's happened to the likes of this guy who seems to be wearing some sort of mask, seems to be facially disfigured somehow, plastic surgery. Pick your plasmid and evolve. Yeah, somebody cooking bacon with their bare hands there. Yeah, that's what we all want, right? Okay, here we go. Dark ends to corridors.
My daddy's smarter than Einstein, stronger than Hercules, and lights a fire with a snap of his fingers.
Alright, let's get this electrobolt. Oh, here we go. So we've got this, another trope that's in here. We've got this idea of, ow, Lego, that was a big needle. Lego genetics, where you can just plug, rather than your DNA being a genetic sequence, you can just plug things in and out of it and change it. Seems to have gone wrong here. Okay, this does not look good.
This little fish looks like he just had his cherry popped. Wonder if he's still got some Adam on him. Let's buck. Weak. You're a weak chopper. This little fish ain't worth towing it with no big daddy. Yellow. Always have been. You'll be no better off with a metal daddy, little fish. See you floating right.
Okay, it looks like I've been saved by the arrival of a bigger fish. And that is a big daddy.
Look,
Mr. Bubbles.
It's an angel. I can see light coming from his
Oh
belly.
wow. He
Wait a
is
minute. He's
a
still
big guy.
breathing. It's all right. I know
In
he'll
a
be
diving
an
suit.
angel soon.
Yeah, so it's always Always, a lot of the enemies wear masks of some variety, so whether it's a...
You alright, boyo? First time plasma's a real kick from a mule. But there's nothing like a fistful of lightning now, is there?
At least we've still got Atlas with us. Can I open this? Yes. I can open that door. Great. Mission accomplished. What's down here? Oh, that's where we came from. Yeah, so all the enemies seem to be masked. There seems to be some sort of... That's our plane! Some sort of masquerade ball. Hang on, get through. I need to get through the end of there. My luggage. Possibly. Whee! Got a bad feeling about this. Okay, let's get that. Just a creepy gramophone playing by itself. Here we have our first little jump scare.
Give him the combo. Zap him, then whack him. 1-2 punch. Remember, the 1-2 punch.
Right, this is our first move, the 1-2 punch. Let's go get him. Zap and whack. Nice. Poor guy. There's our Vita chamber in case we failed that. But yeah, as everyone seems to be masked, so they seem to be victims of some sort of... Hello.
I found her out.
Zap. Whack. Perfect. That seems to be our plane again. Okay, so we've got some pickups here. The Eve Hypo. I think we have bars at the top that show how much health or how much of the substance we have. But we keep seeing these injections, and these people who are attacking us, I think they're a result of those injections, and they're called splicers because they've messed with their genetics. So another topic, the idea of genetic perfection and eugenics, I guess, tackled in this game. That's a bit more sledgehammer, the discussion of that, whether we can alter our genetics for the better. Seemingly not. We're going to get jumped out on here, I'm sure. Okay, that guy's on fire! Oh my god. I guess that lift didn't work for him too well. Do we really want to use the lift? Oh my god. Okay, guess we are.
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them. If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe, I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world.
So it seems to be populated by mindless crazies. They seem to be our main enemies in this. The great chain is guided by our hand. See, I love this stuff like this, all throughout this. Just all this evocative sort of Orwellian political imagery. It's very 1984, but we've got this shit to contend with as well. I guess that's a...
This is happening before.
I could just murder a curry as well. Kashmir restaurant. That sounds good.
Why aren't you here? Why is it today and not then when you were born?
Some very, very creepy, contrasting dialogue here. It's first aid kit. And a chocolate bar. Who doesn't want a chocolate bar? Okay. I'm going to feel bad about this, I think. She has a machete. Just pickpocketed her.
Plasmids changed everything. They destroyed our bodies, our minds. We couldn't handle it. Best friends butchering one another. Babies strangled in cribs. The whole city went to hell.
Yeah, I think Atlas covered it pretty well there. Okay. Oh, I've kind of gone off my curry now. But here we go. Here's this masquerade ball celebrating the new year. We see that mask quite a lot. It's got sort of Alice in Wonderland vibes about it, you know, the white rabbit tumbling down the rabbit hole, which echoes a lot of what we've just done in this bathysphere. Okay, here we go. I have a gun now, which I feel safer about. I mean, we've got this classic structure of, well, in fairness, you don't usually get lightning powers before a gun, but we've got a gun, we've got a wrench, and we've got thoughts. Okay. Okay, I can see ghosts now. I guess that's a product of the plasmids. Which are these psycho serum. I don't want to drink whiskey out of a toilet. Call me old-fashioned. It's not the kind of old-fashioned I like. But I won't be doing that, sir. Sorry about that.
I didn't mean to hurt anyone.
Hey! Christ, that's harrowing. Okay. Here we go. So, yeah, Rapture. This is the name of the city. Bit of an irony on citing like no god present and humanism, but using a biblical term. The writing and the attention to detail in this is exceptional in terms of how they've put the story and the themes together. Oh, hey there, buddy.
Give me my Adam!
Okay, he got us there. Okay, that seems to work quite well.
What are you doing? Charlie, where you going? No, Charlie!
Oh my god.
I'll melt you!
So apparently, these splicers, or enemies, are programmed to miss their first shot. So you get some sort of warning, sort of ambush. So it's quite deliberate thing on their part that I seem to take some damage anyway. Okay. Atlas wasn't kidding when he said everything went to hell. Alright. Here we go. $4. I'm on the up. Things looking up. Every cloud.
If you spot a splicer in the water, hit him with the electrobolt.
Okay, so this is a classic sort of exploding barrel trope in games. So let's see what we can do with this. I'll get my plasmids out and we'll just give them a little jolt. I feel almost sorry for them. Not too much. Yeah, they look pretty crazy. That is not nice. So I think the splicer term has kind of sent people crazy because they've ended up growing sort of like growths or tumours on their faces as a result of using too much of this gene therapy stuff, which I guess wouldn't do you too much good. Jesus Christ! Oh my good God! Oh, I did not like the taste of my own wrench medicine there. That was not fun. Gentle dames, let's go for gents. And we've got a speakeasy door in the toilets, of course. And
Careful now. Would you kindly lower that weapon for a minute?
okay, there is a sinister little girl, like before, stabbing a body, which is nightmare fuel, quite frankly. I'm glad I'm up here. I do not want to go.
That's a child down there. Don't be fooled. She's a little sister now. Somebody went and turned a sweet baby girl into a monster. Whatever you thought about right and wrong on the surface, well, that don't count for much down in Rapture. Those little sisters, they carry Adam, the genetic material that keeps the wheels of Rapture turning. Everybody wants it, everybody needs it.
So I guess it's like it seems to be like some sort of drug as well as this agent of evolution, the Adam. It seems to be like this soma, and a lot of the architecture in this reminds me of films like Brazil as well, Terry Gilliam film, where everybody was addicted to plastic surgery and needed some kind of drug and stuff like Brave New World. So it borrows heavily from all sorts of Orwell dystopia and whoa. Ow! Pick up someone your own side or him. I don't fancy your chances, buddy. Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God!
That's the big daddy. She got it on him. He keeps her safe.
Yeah, I'll say. She's staying safe, judging by this guy. Oh my good God. Bit of ammo for us. Oh my word. Okay. So we're at our Vita chamber, so if we snuff it, we can regain our consciousness here. But that, everybody, was the opening of Bioshock. Now we might come back to this, as it is a fantastic game, but this has been the first of hopefully many Tropestormers3D podcasts, YouTube videos. You can check out the podcast if you like. It's at Tropestormers on all good podcast providers such as Apple Podcasts and things like Stitcher and Spotify and Radio Public. So go check it out on there. We've got podcasts on Jurassic Park, on classic films like Point Break, Blade Runner, things like that. And you can get in touch with the podcast at tropestormers@gmail.com, or you could like, comment and subscribe on this video, and I'll be happy to talk to you a little bit further, as well as Chris, who I do the podcast with as well. So if you've liked this and this video and what it's like, give us a like, comment, subscribe. Oh, and you can watch me gun down masked old ladies in the near future. Well, on that bombshell, I think we shall leave it there and join us to storm more tropes in the near future.